Jaya Radha Madhava Kunya Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunya Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Devaraka Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Devaraka Hare Krishna, good morning. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th Canto, chapter 81, text 11. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Cheva Narottanam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jamudirayat Nastavesya Bhatresya Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamasloke Bhakti Bhakti Naistike. Text 11 is on the board, right? And we will read till text 16. Etavatalam Vishvatman Etavatala Vishvatman Sarva Sampat Samritaye Asmin Loke Tavanashmin Pumsastvattoshakaranam Etavatalam Vishvatman Sarva Sampat Samritaye Asmin Loke Tavanashmin Pumsastvattoshakaranam Etavatalam Vishvatman
Etavatalam Vishvatman
Sarva Sampat Samrityaye
Sarva Sampat Samridaye
Asmin Loke Tavanosmin
Asmin Loke Tavanosmin
Pumsastvat Toshakaranam
Pumsastvat Toshakaranam
Etavatalam Vishvatman
Etavatalam Vishvatman
Sarva Sampat Samridaye
Sarva Sampat Samritaye
Asmin Loke Tavanosmin
Asmin Loke Tavanosmin
Pumsastvato Sakaranam
Puspam Tvam Toshakaranam
Etavatalam Vishvatman
Etavatalam Vishvatman
Sarva Sampat Samridaye
Sarva Sampat Samritaye
Asmin Loke Tavamusmin
Asmin Loke Tavanosmin
Pumsastvat Toshakaranam
Pumsatvat Toshakaranam. Ladies, please.
Etavatalam Vishvatman
Etavatalam Vishvatman
Sarvasampat Samridaye
Sarva Sampat Samritaye
Asmin Loke Tavanosmin
Asmin Loke Tavanosmin
Pumsastvat Toshakaranam
Pumsastvat Toshakaranam
Etavatalam
Etavatalam
Vishvatman
Vishvatman
Sarva Sampat Samridaye
Sarva Sampat Samritaye
Asmin Loke Tavanosmin
Asmin Loke Tavanosmin
Pumsastvat Toshakaranam
Yeah. Just a moment. The word for translation. Etavata, this much, alam, enough, Vishva, of the universe, Atman, O soul, Sarva, of all, Sampat, opulent assets, Samridaye, for the prospering, Asmin, in this Loke, world, Atava, or else, Amushmin, in the next, Pumsa, for a person, Fat, your, Dosha, satisfaction, Karanam, having as its cause. Translation by, translation on purport by Acharyas. There is no purport, PBT purport, but there is a purport of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, which we will read. So first translation. Please repeat. Queen Rukmini said, this is more than enough. O soul of the universe, to secure him an abundance of all kinds of wealth in this world and the next. After all, one's prosperity depends simply on your satisfaction. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur comments, and that's interesting. He says, she means Rukmini, she spoke mentally, making her intentions known to her husband. Eating that much is enough. Be satisfied with that and do not eat any more. Etavata alam. O soul of the universe, Vishva Atma, with your satisfaction the whole world, the whole universe is also satisfied. So in order to give my dear friend great wealth, I must eat more than one handful. Krishna said. This is So your being satisfied alone is the cause of increase of wealth of a person in life, in this life and in the next. Therefore you do not even have to chew much of this hard, tasteless rice. This statement of a meaning is internal, not spoken loudly. For if it were not so, Sudam, understanding our words would not speak verse 20. Right, 20 is later that would see this incredible insights of our acharyas. But Vishwanath is not the only one who gave a purport. Also Shiva Goswami. Quite a long purport. Interesting, we don't have a BBT purport, but there are extensive purports of our acharyas, so that's interesting. That maybe they were not available at that time. Could be Shiva Goswami's commentary. Shiva Goswami commentary. What did she say when she grasped his hand to reveal her intentions? What is the need of taking the second handful of rice? There is no necessity of taking more. This much will satisfy you so that all living beings can attain increase of wealth, of volume and goals up to prema in this life and the next. He has attained that by his gift of one handful of rice offered with the greatest devotion. All wealth is achieved just by the glance of my reflected expansion, Lakshmi, the deity of material wealth. Why do you, my supreme shelter, endeavor for giving him wealth? His house is full of wealth now. If you desire to give him visible wealth now, that wealth is accomplished in his house. You have already said that even a little offering made with bhakti and prema would satisfy you greatly. Therefore, by eating his offering, you have become satisfied. And then the other goal is fulfilled. His wealth will be most abundant. Why is this necessary? O soul of the universe, by satisfied in you, everything becomes perfect. All my companions can then take the remainder and divide it up and eat a little with respect. Srila Swami explains the previous two verses as follows. Accepting one handful of rice is sufficient, alam, for one who attains all wealth in this and the next life by my glance. In this way she is devoted to him, tat para. Therefore, do not make me dependent on him by taking a second handful. Seeking his wealth is the cause of your satisfaction. Karnam acts as an adverb and is thus in the neuter. This grammar. Alam means sufficient because of your dedication to Dharma rather than sufficient in wealth. Omakyana timandasya chinanchala shlakya sakshani tamyena tasmai shurave namah. Chichitaya manovistam stam tamyena bhutolis svamukadamayam dadati svaparantikam. Vandeham Shio Shioda Padakamanam Shio Vaishnavam Shah Shio Pamcharajatam Sakana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parjana Saitam Skrishna Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sakana Lita Shivishakam Vitam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dino Bandha Jatpate Gopesha Kopka Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kansana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishyavana Sutta Devi Panama Hripe Vanka Kalpta Vishakri Prasna Vishapat Napavan Vyo Vaishnavyo Nama Nama Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Jai Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Vistaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namani, Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pachari, Nirvishesha Srinivadi Bhaskatyayi Dasatani, Srila Prabhupada Ki. So, meaning, she did not want Krishna to take a second handful of rice because he was fearing that I have to become his personal servant. But it was the cause of wealth. It's a byproduct of bhakti. But Lakshmi is Shansala, flickering, going one place to another. But where we perform devotional service with devotion, then also Lakshmi follows. If we just try to endeavor to fulfill Prabhupada's mission, just trying, then Lakshmi comes. That somewhere or another, Lakshmi comes. We also have experienced that in Radhadesh. We had so many financial crises, but we always came through it one way or another. And sometimes in ways we could not imagine, but it happened. But yes, interesting is that we have here Sudama Vipra. He did not want to ask anything from Krishna. Because when you see Krishna in person, what's the result? You lose all other desires and you are satisfied. Yes. I have still a Prema Siddhi Ananda, Prema Siddhi Prabhu. That was in the 90s. At that time, and surely you will remember that. At that time, we had a Sankirtan van, and the devotees went out. Even in the 80s, they went out for 3 weeks. 3 weeks traveling, and then they would come back to the temple. And Prema Siddhi it was so difficult, but I was looking forward to be back in Radhadesh, and I was saying, yes, I will pray to Radha Gopinath to help me to go through it. But then after 3 weeks, he came back, and he was standing before Radha Gopinath, and it was so beautiful. And he forgot about all the other things. You are satisfied but the satisfaction in devotional service depends on our purity. Purity is the force, Prabhupada said. Pure. And Sudama Vipra is pure devotion. He had no motive to visit Krishna. It was his wife wanted him to ask something, but he had no motive. It was just out of friendship, that and he was received so wonderfully. And Krishna and Sudama were talking about their time at the Gurukul with Sandipani Muni. That I remember a few years ago I was in Ujjain, and there you have Krishna, Balaram, and Sandipani Muni on the altar. But in Ujjain you have also the ashram of Sandipani Muni is still there. And you can visit it. And I think they learned 64 arts at the Gurukul. And for each art they made a big painting of 2 meters or 5 meters. Big paintings. And there are 64 of them. And you go to it, that this ashram is, and there is a kund, water and cows, and it's an altar with deities of Krishna, Balaram, and Sudam, and Sandipani Muni. It's a wonderful place to visit. It's well maintained. But they were just talking like friends. And Krishna said, you remember we went out for getting firewood from the forest, and they were together trying to find firewood, and there came a storm and a hailstorm, and they got lost. Krishna and Sudha lost in the middle, and they were hand in hand searching. And the next morning, Sandipani Muni and the boys were very worried because especially Sandipani Muni, because these boys were like his children, and Krishna was very dear to him. And Krishna did not come back, and Sudam did not come back. So in the morning they went out searching for Krishna and Sudam, and finally found them. When Sandipani Muni was very pleased with their service, and they were speaking about their remembrance. But then here Krishna, because this rice, this chipped rice, which he was carrying under his armpits, he was thinking, it's unclean, how can I give it to Krishna? His wife had begged from the neighbors. In fact, she begged a handful from 4 neighbors, put it together. So he didn't want to give it, but then Krishna snatched him from under his armpit and started to eat it and all. Because it was offered with such devotion that, by that Krishna knew the intentions of Sudam Vipra. He knew the intentions. He knows the intentions of all of us. And that is, when we perform devotional service, but intentions, pure intention is, Iyayasya Hridaye Kamana Manasagre Nikala Sabhavasta Shuchiva Mukta Sauchate. One should serve Krishna just with body, mind and words, give everything to Krishna, asking nothing in return. Then one is, as a liberated person, that is pure devotion. But many times we have all these material desires in our heart. And material desires are also like prayers. Prayers to be fulfilled, desires to be fulfilled. And Krishna knows them. If we approach Krishna with material desires, then yes, Krishna will fulfill our material desires, but will not give us love for God. Therefore, of course, we want to give them up. Krishna knows that also. And because we want them to give them up, sometimes Krishna is compassionate. The devotee wants to give it up, but is not strong enough. Then 1088.8 of Bhagavatam. Yasyam, yeah. When I give my mercy, I take everything away that my devotees are attached to. Then he suffers. But that's Krishna's mercy. But interesting is that Rukmini is Lakshmi, and she's bound to serve and supply everything what's required just to fulfill this desire of Sudama's wife, not from him. It's very interesting. But Lakshmi is Chanchala, but she's steady when she's steadily present where the devotee serves Krishna with devotion. So yes, that is 11. We can read the next verse. Brahmanas tam torachanim usitva achyuta mandire bhuktva pitva sukham mene atmanam svargatam yata. Sukadev Goswami continued. The Brahman spent that night in Lord Achyuta's palace. After eating and drinking to his full satisfaction, he felt as he had gone to the spiritual world. It was factually the spiritual world, Dwarka, that time. So we have Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's one line purport. Eating and drinking sufficiently, it was as if we were in the heavenly planets, Svargamyata, he says, heavenly planets. Jiva Goswami. After the day passed, he spent one night at the palace of the Lord, who was full of complete bliss as Achyuta, which was like a temple. He ate and drank happily. He thought he was in heaven. This is an expression for material people. Or it can mean Vaikuntha, since it was already mentioned that he was in the temple of the Lord. Sva can mean Vaikuntha. Also, for it is said Svas, Svas Sundan Manim Subhagayantam Ivatma Disnyam. It appears that the Lord was personally spreading the beauty and good fortune of the spiritual world. It was like Yata, the spiritual world, because Dwarka was the supreme Vaikuntha, being eternal. Another version has Suptva, he slept with the Lord. The meter in that case would be deficient one syllable. So, this would be because of the great bliss of the speaker. He missed one syllable out of bliss. That Jiva Goswami says. So it was like Vaikuntha. Can you imagine wherever Krishna is the spiritual world? Also here the deities is Krishna. Temple is an embassy of Vaikuntha. Actually, we are in Vaikuntha. But of course, that goes together with Vaikuntha consciousness. That Prabhupada says that, we should We should create this Vaikuntha atmosphere everywhere. That so, text 13. Svabhute vishvabhavena svasukena binvanditaha Jagamas valyam tata patti anavachyananditaha. Moment. Yeah. The next day, Sudam set off for home while being honored by Lord Krishna, the self-satisfied maintainer of the universe. The Brahman felt great delighted, my dear king, as he walked along the road. When we discussed this verse at Bhaktivedanta course, and Bhujan asked the question, why did Krishna not give him a chariot and a driver and drove him home? Why did he have to walk? Someone has an answer to that? Yes?
I think he didn't ask for anything, he went to beg, and also these Brahmins, they have sometimes this mystical power. When they start the journey, they already reach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's all valuable options
Maybe to surprise him.
to surprise him. Bhujan probably came up with something quite different. I tried to find a verse in the Bible, but I could not find it yesterday. But there is a verse that says that everywhere where my devotees walk, that land becomes sanctified. You see, when Srila Prabhupada walked on a land of a farmer in America, the farmer came with a gun to shoot them because there are everywhere signs, trespass, beware, trespassers will be shot. So that's America, but when Prabhupada was walking on a land, farmer's land in India, the farmer came to praise him. You are blessing my land, thank you for walking on it. So different perspectives. But Krishna wanted him to do service and to sanctify the land by walking on it. That was his comment. I found that interesting. So here we are reminded that Lord Krishna maintains the supply of desirable objects for the whole universe. Therefore is to be understood that he was about to manifest for Sudama opulence greater than Indra's. Being Svasukha, perfectly complete in his own bliss, the Lord has an unlimited capacity for bestowing gifts. According to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati Thakur, the word Adivantitaha indicates that Sri Krishna accompanied Sudama on the road for a short distance and finally parted with the Brahman after bowing down to him and speaking some respectful words. So he walked with him for some time. So there are three purports, commentaries. The first is Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Sudam departed, accompanied partway by Krishna, who is the creator of the universe, is Vishvabhav. Filled with his own bliss, Svasukna. If he can create the universe by his mere wish, what endeavor is it for him to create a great wealthy house for Sudama? And what endeavor is it for him if he is filled with bliss to give such material bliss to Sudama? Jiva Goswami. Then what happened? After he got up the next morning, he was honored by Krishna, the protector of lords of the universe. We could therefore give all happiness to his devotees. This was proper, since the Lord was endowed with affection for Brahmins. Internally he thought, I came here to ask some wealth and did not do that. Without even meeting Balaram, he quickly departed for his house. Going to the edge of the city, he spoke gentle words with Krishna while walking. He encircled him, offered respect, folded his hands, gazed at Krishna's face, and then left in joy. Sukadev calls out jokingly to Parikshit to indicate that Krishna did not give Sudama anything when he departed. If you read this purport of Jiva Goswami, then you are wondering, are they just coming up with that by analyzing the Sanskrit? No, it's not in the Sanskrit, these things. That Jiva Goswami says. He says, yes, it's going to the edge of the city, spoke gently words with Krishna while walking, he circled him, offering respect. It's not in the Sanskrit of this verse. How does he know that? It means he must be, he must have realization of the aprakrit lila of Krishna. He must have seen the pastimes, and he knows his details, and he shared that with us. So we are not just here hearing about commentators based on linguistic skills. No, they have realization. They have seen the pastimes, and they are shared, and we are given here insight into their consciousness, into their mountain. It's so beautiful. But of course, this is Jiva Goswami, Sanatana Goswami. Well, Sanatana Goswami is the spiritual master of Jiva Goswami. Usually, what Jiva Goswami said is also in Sanatana Goswami's commentary. But Sanatana Goswami said, the Lord was the maintainer of the universe, Vishvabhavena, because he gives happiness to the devotees. Svasukena, Sridhama was worshipped by Krishna, touching his feet. He did not give him wealth, only respect. Sukadev calls out in great prema for the Lord's treatment of Sridham, or out of great enthusiasm. Now text 14. 14. Satchalabdvadanam Krishnam Natuyashi Tavan Svayam Svagrinan Vitidogachan Mahadarshana Nifrita. Although he had apparently received no wealth from Lord Krishna, Sudama was too shy to beg for it on his own. He simply returned home, feeling perfectly satisfied to have had the Lord's audience that time. So interesting, because he doesn't know about his opulence, because in the previous verses it said, yes, Rukmini, when she She was thinking it. She was not speaking it. He was not aware. He was just thinking. He was thinking himself a low-class Brahmin and Vicha Bandhu. Not even, he considered himself even not a Brahmin. And he was thinking, I don't have wealth because of my past sinful activities. That's the reason. I'm a sinful person. He was thinking like that himself, low, very low. So that's like when Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Maharaj, he was once walking in the temple and outside his room devotees were talking. Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Maharaj came out and said, "What are you talking about?" He said, Guru Maharaj, I'm practicing devotional service for so long now, and I feel I don't make advancement. I don't feel I'm making advancement. I don't make any advancement. But Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Maharaj said, yes, if you feel like that, that's good. It would not be so good if you would think that you have become a great devotee. So an advanced devotee feels himself the lowest, but that we cannot. And it's not just a mental game. Oh, I'm the lowest. That when someone said to Prabhupada, I'm the most fallen. Prabhupada replied, you are not the most of anything. So we cannot do that. Thinking ourselves like that. Although, at another occasion, a devotee said the same thing, Prabhupada, I'm the most fallen. And Prabhupada said, yes, what are you going to do about it? So we must be practical. If we are not making advancement, we should think, why is that? Am I surrendered sufficiently? Or should I surrender more? But here Sudan is fully surrendered. Whatever Krishna wants, I'm his servant. I will not ask anything. I will not ask anything. I will not pray for anything. I just want his friendship. And that's pure devotion. Shiva Goswami, though he had not received anything from his friend he returned home. He had not asked for anything because he was shy. He was blissful because of seeing the Lord. Sanatana Goswami. He did not obtain wealth from his friend. Krishna did not give by his desires Swayam or Sridham did not personally ask because he was a friend. It was not proper to ask the Lord for wealth. He was ashamed, but blissful on seeing the Lord and went home. Or because he was ashamed, he did not ask. Without attaining wealth, he returned home because he was blissful on seeing the Lord. Although blissful, he went home in shame, since he went to the Lord to get some wealth. And he came back without it. That was his thinking. Yeah. Text 15. Aho Brahmanya Devasya Krishna Brahman Yatamaya Yadari Dattamo Lakshmin Ashlisto Bibrato Asi. Sudam thought, Lord Krishna is known to be devoted to the Brahmins, and now I have personally seen his devotion. Indeed, He who carries the goddess of fortune on his chest has embraced the poorest beggar, because he was dressed in rags practically. His dhoti and so on was very old. He was like a beggar. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Sudan expresses his bliss in 4 verses. I've seen how Krishna is affectionate to the Brahmins because he who holds Lakshmi on his chest embraced me. Jiva Goswami. 8.5 verses describe Siddhama's thoughts and then his transformed house. Aho expresses astonishment. The Lord carries Lakshmi on his chest in the form of a golden line. Sanatana Goswami. Sridham, thinking of the greatness of the Lord while on the path, he became blissful with great bhava. He was not at all suffering. 6 verses describe his thoughts, also expresses surprise. I've directly experienced Drista, the Lord's affection for Brahmins. He was extremely poor, not even wearing 2 pieces of cloth, which was proper dress. It was astonishing that he was embraced, that he was embraced, the Lord who holds Lakshmi on his chest. He was not worthy of the embrace, yet the Lord embraced him. Now, the final verse of today, 16. Yeah. Kavam Daritra Papiyan Kva Krishna Shriniketana Brahmabandhu iti smaham Pabhupyam parirambita. Who am I? A sinful, poor friend of a Brahman. So, sinful Dvijabandhu. And who is Krishna? Is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, full in 6 opulences. Nonetheless, he has embraced me with his 2 arms. Purport. This translation is from Srila Prabhupada's English rendering of Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya 7143. Sudama was so humble that he considered his poverty to be his own fault, result of sin. Such mentality is accord with the saying Daritra Dosha Guna Rasi Nasi. The discrepancy of being poor ruins heaps of good qualities. Vishwanath. Though I'm a fallen Brahman, I was embraced by his arms. And Shiva Goswami. He expands on the previous verse. Am I some special jiva? Is not Krishna's Swayam Bhagavan? Moreover, I am poverty-stricken, sinful, with no good fortune. But he is the abode of Lakshmi. By his nature, he is full of all wealth, is full of all saktis. Just because this person was born in a Brahman family, he has embraced him with 2 arms. This is amazing. Smile. He embraced me because I am a Brahman, not because I am a friend. By this, he expresses his extreme lack of qualification. He praises the Lord for being affectionate to Brahmins rather than being affectionate to the devotees. That's Shiva Goswami is giving us the internal thoughts of Sudha, what it means to feel oneself very fallen. So yes, and now we will return home and we'll see his home transformed, that he will see some very nice dressed heavenly personalities coming towards him. And then he recognizes that one of his is his wife. And he's very astonished. And then he becomes also transformed. He gets also beautiful clothes and so on. Now Acharya says, yeah, first Krishna waited with transforming him so that his wife could recognize him. But then, yeah, he understood Krishna wants me to enjoy this opulence. But he started to live like before, very simple, unattached. So that is, a devotee knows all this material opulence has no value. It's only valuable when we use it in Krishna's service. And he started to live like, before that a devotee has no interest in material opulence. I'm just thinking of it's Loma Harsha Rishi. Not sure I have his name right, but he got a blessing, Loma Harsha Rishi, from Lord Brahma, that he would live. He would live as many days of Brahma as there were hairs on his body. And Loma Harsha Rishi had hairs everywhere, a lot of hair. So he was blessed with a very long life. So and his disciples wanted to build for him a bhajan kutir at the border of the Ganga, so that to protect their Gurumats against the sun. And Loma Harsha Rishi said, "Don't waste your time with that. I'm here just for a moment." So these are the great rishis. They understand I'm at the point changing bodies. So what's the use being attached to this world? I cannot take it with me. It's all. So a devotee knows that and that is approach towards wealth. It's so fleeting that. But when it comes, okay, Krishna's mercy. When it doesn't come, also Krishna's mercy. And that was the Sudama Vipra, that he was not attached. But he lost his aversion. He came to the point of neutrality. And that's also important for us, a lesson to be learned from this pastime, that come to that neutrality. It takes a lot of purification of heart. So the yogi, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, lives only for the purification of his existence. That's one of the godly qualities in the 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Abhaya Sattva Samsudir. Sattva Samsudir. Strive for purification of one's existence. That should be our business. Hearing about Krishna, remembering Krishna, speaking about Krishna, performing deity worship. It's all purifying us. Krishna is a purifying factor. We have Krishna in our mind becomes purified. We use our intelligence in trying to understand the Shastra, our intelligence becomes purified. Because Vedasa Sarvameva Vidya, Krishna is too known by the Vedas. So that's a few things that I could say on these verses. very enlightening commentaries of our acharyas. Any question? Yes? Come.
We put it on there.
Hare Krishna, thank you very much for the wonderful you are introducing to us the commentary from other acharyas. It's very beneficial for us. And I still haven't, I didn't still quite not understand the last word, the discrepancy of being poor and ruining all the good qualities. And the other question is that, as you mentioned, when we do devotional service, Lakshmi Devi follows. But I'm wondering, I also read the verses before that Krishna is also really praising Sudama Brahma. He's practicing his service. But I'm just wondering why, as he is a, how to say, he has a wife and I don't know, his understanding of his being poor is his sinful past life or activities. But, I'm just wondering, as he's very, it seems to that he is an advanced devotee, so if Lakshmi follows, so why, and as he is a grahastha and he's a wife, so why he could leave his wife in that situation, and what is the real reason for his being?
Yeah, that has been discussed before in the previous verse in the commentaries, that Sudama was averse to sense gratification. He was thinking this sense gratification is between me and Krishna, I don't want it. He became averse. And because he didn't want it, Krishna did not give him. Because he didn't want. So Krishna is also the servant of his devotees. He sees their desires. Yeah, and that is the reason. But still Krishna wanted to correct that and wanted to take away this aversion. And therefore this pastime is there. He went to Dwarka. He saw the opulence of all this resonance of Dwarka. I was thinking, oh, they are also devotees. There's so much opulence. And then finally Krishna bestowed upon him all this opulence, his palace and all these servants and so on. And then he understood, yes, Krishna wants me to enjoy. But he remained unattached to it. He came to the neutral position. Because Krishna bestowed the opulence because of the devotee, or because of the devotion of Sudha, but to please his wife, because it was the desire of his wife. That's
So Krishna is satisfying his wife actually.
Yeah, that's the reason. But also I wanted to correct him. Yeah, to correct him. Yeah. Thank you. Something else? Yes.
Thank you, Maharaj, for making this wonderful point that Sudama considered that sense gratification was standing between him and Krishna, and that's what he didn't want. To support it, there is this statement in Shastra that there are 4 impediments on the path of devotion, of which one is the wealth, high birth, personal beauty, and high education. So obviously Sriyama didn't want that, and that's why Krishna kept him like that, because he considered this impediment. I wanted to discuss another point that you made earlier. If I understood well, you were saying that Krishna fulfills desires of a devotee, material desire, but he will not give him prema. I like to explore a little different view to this statement that Krishna fulfills material desires of devotee, but not quite in the way in which devotee desires. That's the first thing. He makes it.
Interesting.
He gets it, but at the same time he realizes, like in the case of Dhruva Maharaj, that's not really what I wanted. And eventually he does give prema because this is all he wants, and that's why we are encouraged to pray to Krishna, no matter what our desires may be, because eventually it will lead.
Nice.
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Yeah, that's great. And yes,
Hare Krishna Maharaj, could you please elaborate a little bit about the point Krishna, he could eat everything, all the rice at once, because his hand is unlimited, his mouth is also unlimited, but he took just a half in his hand to eat that, he didn't eat it all at once.
yeah, because Krishna does many things at the same time, and he knew the mind of Rukmini, Lakshmi. So it didn't take it in one time. That that you want to also be mindful for or considering Lakshmi's position. That because Rukmini was fearing then I become his personal servant, and said to Krishna, no, you took one handful, he has already enough opulence for this life and for the next, and that that he must have considered that also, that and it's passed through the pastimes. Krishna's pastimes are going to Krishna's plan. And that's for us inconceivable. That although sometimes Yoga Maya plays a big role in it. I try to understand myself. Thank you. Thank you for your wonderful comments. Yes.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, could you please explain more about why was she so reluctant to become a servant in Sudama Brahmana's house? Because in general we know that wherever we worship Lord Narayan, then Lakshmi will be there. So that means she's there with her husband. So why still she's not so eager to serve?
Yeah, she was thinking if we give everything to Sudam, but with all the other devotees because usually she's Chanchala, but she's for materialists. They get opulence and then they become poor. She goes. But for devotees it's different. That he follows, he reciprocates with the devotees. But I think she must have feared that, yes, maybe I've become his personal servant, but she was also concerned with all the others. Like if you give all the wealth to one person, then we see that in this world we have these billionaires. I think more than 340 billionaires. That was a few 10 years ago. They had 40% of all the wealth of the world. And so that's But Anyway, that's and but probably there are other ways or angles of view on this. Besides this, if someone else has other views on this. Good.
Thank you.
Yes.
I just want to quickly ask one more thing. So that rice that Sudama Brahmana's wife collected, for me it appears that it was raw, it was not cooked. Is that right? Or I was just curious about it. That chipped rice that Krishna ate, was it just like dry chipped rice, or was it
Chipped
prepared?
rice.
It's ready to eat.
Yeah.
Flat rice you can eat just.
Yeah, I was also thinking it's just flat rice. You can buy it. In India, that's very popular for traveling. Everyone takes that. That's very easy. And when you come somewhere, you have a lota or a cup. You put it in the cup and with some water,
Yes.
and you can eat yeah. It must be that's today's. I think it will be similar.
Thank you.
Something else?
Yeah, I would a little bit elaborate on this Lakshmi being Chanchalam. She is definitely Chanchalam if you go after her.
Yeah.
But if we are after Narayan, then he is not Chanchalam, then she will stay as well next to him. The way, I mean, of course, you cannot play the tricks like, okay, I will go after. I'm pretending to be Narayan's devotee and then Lakshmi will come. That's not the case.
Yeah. Yeah, of course, she will be there when we keep focusing on Krishna with our devotion. That it depends on the steadiness of the devotee. That, yes, sure. Something else? Yeah, thank you for your wonderful comment. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai.